This video is sponsored by Audible. Harley Quinn has become one of the most popular female comic book characters around today, which is interesting because she didn't originally debut in a comic. Not only that, but her creation is linked, surprisingly, to the Princess Bride. What? Harley Quinn's origin was revealed for the first time in the excellent comic Mad Love, which was later adapted into an episode of the New Batman Adventures. As a teenager, Harleen Quinzel was a talented gymnast who received a scholarship to Gotham State University, where she studied psychology, though in some continuities she forgoes studying for a different route. Being attracted to the supervillain Mystique, Harley becomes an intern at Arkham Asylum. The first time she sees Joker, she is immediately smitten. When she's finally given permission to have that session with him, Harley starts to see Joker less as a psychopath and more of just a tortured soul who just wants love. She dons on a jester costume, adopts the name Harley Quinn, as it sounds like the old comedic character Harley Quinn, and breaks Joker out of Arkham. There's also another origin where Joker threw her into the same chemical bath that he fell into, which bleached Harley's skin and overall made her more like her Mr. J, and this appears to be what we'll see in the Suicide Squad movie. Together, Harley and Joker would go on crime sprees and set up traps to kill the Batman, but Harley Quinn has had her own adventures independent of Joker. There's the aforementioned Suicide Squad, of which she's a member, her romps with Poison Ivy, and of course, her solo series, where she just does her own thing. As I said at the top of this video, Harley Quinn's first appearance was not in the comic, but rather in the cartoon Batman the Animated Series, in a season 1 episode called Joker's Favor. In this episode, Commissioner Gordon was going to have a birthday party. Joker wanted to capitalize on this occasion by hiding inside of a birthday cake and jumping out to kill Gordon, but two of the big names behind the series, writer Paul Dini and producer/co-creator Bruce Timm, thought it would be weird if Joker were the one to jump out of the cake. The episode featured Joker with a couple of thugs at his side, so Dini figured it'd be interesting to add another henchman who would be a wisecracking woman. Plus, now she could be the one to jump out of the cake with a gun and kill Gordon on his big day. So Paul Dini was tasked with creating a female clown character. Coincidentally, Dini had a good friend named Arleen Sorkin, who had recently done a short stint on the famous soap opera Days of Our Lives. Sorkin played a character named Calliope, a scatterbrained comic relief character with a thick New York accent. Sorkin was constantly suggesting new ideas to the show's producers. One idea reportedly came to her after seeing the acclaimed film The Princess Bride. Sorkin pitched an idea for an episode of Days of Our Lives, a story that would involve a medieval fairy tale dream sequence. In it, Calliope would be featured as a court jester. I believe we have a clip.
They all hurried out to rescue the damsels in distress.
I especially find it interesting that Calliope was roller skating in this episode, since a big part of Harley Quinn's current series is that she's on a roller derby team, but I digress. With this, Dini had his inspiration for the female clown henchman. He drew up a rough sketch of the new character and brought it to Bruce Timm, who remarked that it was, quote, frankly, not very good. With a little research and some of that Bruce Timm magic, he drew up that classic red and black diamond design for Harley, and the rest is history. Now they just needed someone to voice the character, and who better than the woman who inspired Harley in the first place? Dini asked Sorkin to come in and give it a go, who simply used an over-the-top version of her own voice, as that was the easiest thing to do. And it totally worked. Bruce Timm recalled, quote, when the first episode she appeared in came back from overseas and we saw her animated with the combo of the visual and Arleen Sorkin's performance, you know, it was kind of magical. Paul started immediately planning her return, saying, you know what, I'm gonna bring that Harley Quinn character back. Sorkin has since provided the voice for Harley Quinn for over 2 decades in various DC cartoons and video games, all because of a throwaway character created just to pop out of a cake. However, if you remember the Joker's Favor episode of Batman the Animated Series, you'll recall that Harley Quinn did not jump out of Commissioner Gordon's cake, but rather the Joker himself did. So, what's the deal? Didn't they just create Harley Quinn specifically for that moment? Why did they change their minds? In the end, Dini and Timm decided that sure, it might be weird if the Joker was the one to jump out of the cake, but that's precisely what makes it funny, and it's definitely the thing that the Joker would want to do. But since they already had written Harley into the episode, they didn't feel like cutting her out completely. They moved her to be more of a background character who would return for a bigger role in the series with much more episodes that would flesh out her character. Eventually, Harley Quinn would be brought into the world of comics. The very first comic book appearance of Harley was in Batman Adventures number 12 from 1993. However, this series was set in the cartoons continuity. Harley would have to make several more appearances in alternate universes and Elseworld stories, like 1998's Batman Thrill Killer and its follow-up, Thrill Killer 62, before finally being introduced into the official DC canon in 1999's No Man's Land tie-in, Batman Harley Quinn, which was also written by Paul Dini. Kinda fitting. Unfortunately, Harley wasn't super popular in the comics at that time. Her stories were, for the most part, pretty forgettable. It would be once again a world outside of the comics where she would regain her popularity via the 2009 Arkham Asylum video game. The story was, yet again, written by Dini, with Sorkin reprising the character once more.
How do you like my new uniform?
The massive success of the game also resulted in success of Harley Quinn, which led to her being featured in the New 52 Suicide Squad comic, which in turn led to Harley getting another solo series, which has been one of DC's best-selling titles. And now we have Harley Quinn as a main character in the Suicide Squad movie. She's more popular than she's ever been, and the story of her creation is just as great. But what do you guys think about all of this? Are you happy to see Harley at the height of her fame? Is there a particular version of her from the cartoons, comics, or video games that you like the most? Let's talk about it all in the comments below. And if you want to learn more about the history of female comic book characters like Harley Quinn here, I suggest picking up The Supergirls, Fashion, Feminism, Fantasy, and the History of Comic Book Heroines, written by Mike Madrid. Seriously, it is a fantastic book. You can also listen to it in audiobook form thanks to Audible. You guys know Audible, they make great things for your ear holes, and they're offering you lovely nerds a free 30-day trial membership. Just go to audible.com/nerdsync and browse the over 250,000 audio programs. Download a title free and start listening. It doesn't have to be the Supergirls book. It can be literally anything in their massive library of audio goodness. Once again, that is audible.com/nerdsync, and get started today. And if you like learning about the real origins of your favorite comic book characters, click right here to watch a series of videos about the real origins of Wolverine, Storm, and Nightcrawler from the X-Men. Or you can click right here to learn the real world origin of how Kryptonite was created. Super interesting story behind that one. Links, as always, will be in the description. And make sure you hit that big sexy subscribe button so you don't miss out on all the new videos we make for you every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday to explore the history, science, art, and philosophy behind your favorite comic book superheroes. My name is Scott, reminding you to read between the panels and grow smarter through comics. See ya!